Coming up on today's After News, WWE tried to poach this wrestler from AEW.
When will WWE book CM Punk versus Seth Rollins?
Another wrestler becomes All Elite.
And Tony Khan has a great announcement. Never! He's never done that before.
I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Phil Chambers.
And this is the After News. How do you like your eggs, Phil?
Poached.
Good answer, because we are talking about a wrestler that WWE tried to poach, not like that, from AEW. This comes from Dax Harwood's Instagram story, and it centers around Tommy Billington. Nephew of the Dynamite Kid, of course. Dax saying, I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but he told me about some of his financial woes. He moved all the way to Canada to better his opportunities for wrestling. He told me about his financial woes, and I told him that after tonight, we're going to get you a job. We had the match, him and Tommy Billington, of course. Really good match, actually, if you've not seen it before. Obviously, he showed out, says Dax. He was offered a contract on the spot right there. He didn't accept just yet, but he was offered a contract on the spot. The very next day, WWE also reached out to someone close to Tommy and asked about getting him there. There was, I don't want to say a bit of a bidding war, but there was a bit of power plays. Tom decided he wanted to come to AEW. I think you'll be seeing more of Tom Billington in AEW to come. Following a bit of a pattern, this, certain wrestlers sort of introduced on AEW television, given a bit of a showcase, but before they're properly locked down, WWE catch wind of this and go, I'm thinking of a Nathan Fraser type, for example.
Yes, monkey see, monkey want.
Who's been doing great stuff, just unfortunately lost the tag titles in NXT this week. But yeah, I can't tell sometimes whether it's WWE thinking, wow, look at that great young talent that we really like the look of, or, that'd really screw AEW's plans up if we just signed that from underneath their nose.
Or, what if I offered them money, and then AEW offers them more money, and they have to pay more for this?
Good point as well. But you reminded me that we had Tommy Billington in WCW. We kind of discovered him.
We did discover him. Nothing to do with the Dynamite Kid or anything like that. Back in 2019, we had him and his brother, Mark Billington, the dynamic duo as they were back then. So yeah, they wrestled for us quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, obviously the heritage is there with this guy. They were both like good even back in the day, 2019, and they were super green when they started wrestling for us. I think they would only been wrestling for like 6 months or something stupid like that.
In my head, when I think back, they're about 10 as well. They are. They're probably like 18 or something.
Little boys. So yeah, excited to see what they do.
Yeah.
It's like an interesting sort of the family lineage stuff isn't something we've seen sort of in AEW a lot. We've seen it like in WWE all the goddamn time, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that, how they're going to brand him.
The Von Erichs now, they've got.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very, very WWE to be like, do you want to come to the Performance Centre, actually? You've never spoken to me before. No, but now.
But how about now?
But I think it's the right decision for him. And with what he put on against Dax, I think, AEW could be a really exciting place. We'll keep you posted on developments with Tommy Billington.
Absolutely. And let us know in the comments who you want to see him face in AEW.
That reminds me.
Oh, hello.
We can actually officially announce his next opponent is either
Eddie Kingston.
Okay. Welcome to the party, pal. Or Madison Rain.
Yep.
So
Bucket, Tony. Speaking of bucking, we've got an update on CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, and this is coming from PW Insider Elite, who have been told by WWE sources not to expect CM Punk versus Seth Rollins anytime soon.
Okay.
At least not until 2025. Mainly because WWE are letting things spread out a little bit.
Okay.
So they mentioned the feud with Drew being part of it, because it's obviously going through Bash in Berlin with the strap match, and then potentially onto Hell in a Cell.
If you survive that, Hell in a Cell.
Why the hell not? Hey Punk, I hear your injury is all recovered now. How would you like straps and Hell in a Cell?
Welcome back.
Go. Welcome to the business, kid. So they're letting that play out, but then they're also, what was the quote in it? They said that WWE is at a much better level now in terms of laying out long-term plans.
That they are.
So I would not be expecting CM Punk versus Seth Rollins anytime soon. Obviously, the Bronson Reed stuff on Raw a few weeks ago was done.
He nearly killed him.
To get Seth Rollins a little bit of time off because he was a bit banged up. But also to separate him and CM Punk a little bit longer. So when Seth comes back, he's got Bronson Reed to feud with, and then that just gives it a little bit of time to rest. And then eventually, whether it's Mania next year, or whether it's post-Mania next year.
Well, that's
we'll
what I
get
was
to see
thinking.
Punk versus Seth again.
It was meant to be Mania this year, of course, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The original plan before The Rock came up and made everything even better was going to be Seth versus Punk with the title and all that, and Punk's injury, obviously, and then the Drew Priest cash, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So you can understand that they might think, well, we thought it was WrestleMania main event worthy back then. Why not? There's no reason to think why that isn't the case now. Obviously, there wouldn't necessarily be a title attached to it, because you would assume Gunther's taking that all the way to WrestleMania and beyond, perhaps. But yeah, no need to burn through this match. I think it's a highly anticipated one. Like you say, you've got Punk being kept busy until September, October, actually.
Yeah.
Bad Blood. I assumed the Seth thing was going to be quite a short run. I thought it was going to be like, bangs, Bronson Reed destroys him and he comes back, let's say, this week and says, I'm going to kick your ass at Bash in Berlin. But yeah, it seems like that's another thing that's going to probably set for Bad Blood. If Seth Rollins recovers in time. I can't believe how well they've gotten Bronson Reed over in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I was like, just do loads of tsunamis.
Completely out of nowhere.
And
it works now.
There he is. And look, here comes Odyssey Jones as well. But yeah, you would anticipate it's going to be at bare minimum a big 4 show, that match.
Yeah, I would imagine so. And I've got a lot more faith in WWE pulling this off now, these days, than I would have had a few years ago. Like the stuff they've done with Drew and Punk, obviously he was injured, so it's like a different situation. But they managed to spread that out and make that relevant for the entire goddamn year. And it's still working, so I think they can still have this Seth Punk stuff bubbling underneath the surface.
Yeah, exactly.
And like it can come up occasionally and then go back down, and they'll be able to keep that running and keep it relevant.
It would be nice to have a title touch. It doesn't need one.
Doesn't need it.
A bit like with the Drew match, really.
Yeah.
So you sense that they'll go to Bad Blood with Drew, and then either both or just take a bit of time off after doing a Hell in a Cell match, or Punk can spiral off into something different. That's the sort of latter end of the year. They generally kind of hold back on that, and then you just go, Punk's going to be in the Rumble again. John Cena's going to be in the Rumble.
Seth's in the Rumble.
Drew's probably going to be in the Rumble.
Yeah. There's loads of ways you can spread this out.
The Rock's going to be in the Rumble and he's going to win it.
I'm just liking the renewed patience with these things.
Let's bring people up to date on a new AEW signing. You're joking, not another one. But this is a really good one. Michael Oku, who of course recently took on my best friend, MJF, at RevPro Summer Sizzler event, is heading to AEW. Fightful Select reporting that Oku and Amira are expected to work AEW's Cardiff Dynamite taping, which goes down next Wednesday, of course, as well as All In, which goes down next Sunday. More on that in a second. Now, sources in RevPro claim to Fightful Select's Corey Brennan that Oku and Amira are close to signing with AEW and expected to soon. No deal has been signed as of Fightful writing this, and sources within AEW wouldn't confirm it to Sean Ross Sapp about that news, but they said they wouldn't be surprised to see them ending up on the UK AEW shows. Obviously makes a lot of sense, that.
Yeah.
And yeah, Michael Oku has had brilliant performances against the likes of Will Ospreay in the past, and then the MJF one. I think the fact that AEW trusted him to have a match with their American champion tells you all you really need to know. And obviously the fact that they factored into that match, or at least the post-match, the Will Ospreay aspect of their all-in thing. Yeah, sounds good. Best luck to Amira and, of course, to Michael Oku.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of a new world now as well in terms of the British shows. Because last year it was just All In, and getting someone on that card is a lot different than getting someone on a Cardiff Dynamite episode kind of thing. So they've kind of opened it up a little bit more to be able to do some more fun things within the Dynamite setting instead of it needing to be on the sort of grand stage of Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, you would assume Michael Oku, maybe they set something up on Dynamite, and I assume they're doing the Rampage taping at the same time, and they put that match on Rampage as a sort of go-home angle ahead of All In. I don't know if they're going to do Collision next week or not, with it being this Saturday, Sunday. Don't know, but All In is 10 days. Is that right?
Something like that. 10 days.
10 days away, which is just one more than 9 days away. We can't wait. It's going to be an amazing day, not just because of All In. My first one.
It is.
I'm very excited. I missed it last year, what with the whole having a child kind of thing.
God damn it.
Which was, justified, probably me not going. But I love...
See you after the wrestling.
But very excited for that. And our live show, that goes down before All In, midday on the same day, on the Sunday. Make sure you join us for that one. whatculture.com/tickets if you want to buy tickets to that. We're going to do a live show. We're going to do an extended meet and greet. And then if you're worried, how am I going to do that and cram in getting over to All In? I have to travel all the way across London, which will be a bloody nightmare on that Sunday. No. It is minutes away. We got ourselves a car. We'll all walk over from the Crystal Club to Wembley, go and watch it All In, then leave, film what went down, film ups and downs, and then head back to Crystal Club for Sweet Chin Disco. Tickets have sold out, but fear not. There will be limited tickets available on the night, so come over for that one. Just search for Sweet Chin Disco. God, I can't wait till next Sunday.
It's going to be good fun. We should probably plan things.
Yes.
Get ourselves ready. Get your entrances ready. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come on down, whatculture.com/tickets. Now, AEW. You'll never guess that Tony Khan's teasing some big announcements. You might
I swear he was teasing this for last night.
You might say it's
I watched the
gonna be
show
great.
this morning and I went, wasn't there meant to be an announcement on it?
So, yeah, this has been going on for a long ass time.
Yes.
There's a lot of rumblings about the AEW media rights deal. We knew it was going to be up this year, and it's literally, we've been talking about it for months now, it seems.
It's nearly September.
It's kind of ludicrous. You better get on with it, Tony. But he's been talking to TV Insider, and he has a little bit of an update. I say a little bit of an update. He just says it's coming soon. He says we're on the verge of the most important announcements in the history of AEW. He's hyping it up big time, baby. There are multiple aspects. The arrival of these announcements is imminent. We'll have big news that could come out at any time. Isn't that the best kind of wrestling spies, when you know something is coming and you want it and it's exciting, but you're not sure when it's going to happen? It's just a TV rights deal, Tony.
Yeah.
You have that feeling it's going to happen. In this case, I have more than a feeling. I'm quoting Boston, obviously. I have been working on this for a long time. We have a great team here. The future of AEW is very bright. But it's not only the TV rights deal that is potentially incoming, but there's also a potential of a stadium show.
Oh, yeah.
In Australia.
What?
Because the Sporting News Australia said yesterday that they have been in, AEW have been in talks with places in Australia.
They did talk about a stadium show in the US as well, didn't they? I'm
They
not dreaming
did, yeah.
that. Okay,
So maybe this is either an extension of that or just something completely different, but like potential of doing something in Sydney or Melbourne. So there's that, but like the TV rights deal is going to be a huge announcement. Obviously, it's going to mean a hell of a lot more money for AEW, most likely, but it also is potentially going to involve not just what's happening on TV with Dynamite and Rampage and Collision and all that,
Don't
but
change days.
potentially changing up the pay-per-view schedule or how you watch it, because there's also the potential of a streaming service
Yeah, that's
going
the
in
big
there,
one for me.
which is a big one, and getting the entire AEW back catalogue onto something is quite a big sell for one of these streaming platforms. It's a lot of content they've built up over the last 5 years.
Feels like, we've been anticipating this. I mean, I can understand his excitement/giddiness, because it feels like we've been reporting on this the entire year.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's going to be at the upfronts, or it's going to be at this or that or whatever. And then I'll swear it was like, something's been uploaded to HBO, and so that must be a sign that that's what's happening. And there's basketball or something. I don't really know a lot about these sorts of things. Just as long as it stays on television and stays on the same day, I'm absolutely fine. And as long as they get a little bit more money to be able to finance paying the wrestlers what they deserve.
Absolutely. It very much seems like it's going to stay on Warner Brothers Discovery properties, at least, because he is bigging up the Warner Brothers Discovery in every one of these things so much.
The Fulham women's football team now have AEW on the front of their shirts. Yeah, I think it was announced yesterday.
He's using his own company to sponsor his own company.
I can't remember, someone tweeted it with like Tony Khan and then a Tony Khan handshake. Good doing business with you.
Or just that hug on himself.
Yes, but we'll keep you posted and keep on speculating until this TV deal's actually bloody announced.
We'll get it at some point, it seems.
Let us know your thoughts on that in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and check out this morning's news video right here. Well, by the way, whatculture.com/tickets.